Morning guys, once again it is I, the chairman, coming back to you with another review of recent physical media that I have acquired, and I have a pretty good collection today for you. So first off, I got in the Severin April bundle, and they consist of the 4K version of Jodorowsky's Sangre, and we have their triple collection of 70s, I guess, animal exploitation films, kind of taking off from Jaws. So we have Grizzly, Jodorowsky's shark exploitation film Deep Blood, and The Day of the Animals. And I definitely remember watching Day of the Animals on TV as a kid. I don't really recall much about it, but the thing is that this is back when environmental issues were kind of at the forefront and the ozone layer was being depleted, and so they figured, well, you know, ozone layer is being depleted, maybe that will cause animals to go crazy. I mean, we know it doesn't, but that was a premise for it. So yeah, let's go over Sangre first. So it comes in a slipcase like this, and that's the back. This is a 4-disc set. So opens up. Sorry, that's actually the front, and that's the back. Opens up like that, and it opens up like this. So you have the 4K here. You have the Blu-ray of the film. You have a bunch of lobby cards. You have the Blu-ray of the special features, and this is the soundtrack. So we have the cards. We got like this, like this, like that, like that. Some of these are the other way around. So yeah. So just got those in yesterday. Take a look at that, and we'll go over. So the two William Girdler directed films, Day of the Animals and Grizzly, they both get this special slipcover. And so what you get is actually, you get one cover, or one key art, I guess you want to call it, another one on the back, and then you slip the case out. You get another one on here, so another cover, and then you actually then get yet another key art on the inside. So you actually get 4 different, I guess you'll call them posters, key art. But yeah, so this one is actually stars Leslie Nielsen in the film. And then we got Grizzly, is kind of the same thing. So you got that, you got that, then you have this one, which is kind of the same as this one, but it's just the colors are different. Single Blu-ray disc, and then you have this one inside, which is basically the same version as the one on the slipcase, but just the colors are reversed. So these are all 2K scans. I believe this one is the, they say it's a 2K scan for the internegative. And Day of the Animals is a, I believe it's the same thing. Yes. And so Deep Blood does not get a slipcase. So this is a 2K scan from the original negative. And this one, it does not have a alternate side to the cover liner, and that's just a single Blu-ray as well. And I forgot to mention the other day that I had also gotten the John Carpenter 4K 4 film collection, which is The Fog, Escape from New York, Prince of Darkness, and They Live. And what's interesting is that I think aside from Escape from New York, Shout Factory has put out the other three in their own editions, but with the special edition. But with the special features and the bonus features. So this is put out by Studio Canal. This has been available on Amazon for $50 for like a while now, and it's just the it's only the 4Ks of the films with no special features or anything. So I've never seen the other three John Carpenter films, The Fog, Prince of Darkness, and They Live. Yeah, no, They Live is probably the one that I know the most of that I've never seen, that I never had. So I'm looking forward to watching that. And this will make the third version of Escape from New York that I own on that I've owned on Blu-ray. I think I had the DVD before, but yeah, because I had the Universal one, then I got the Shout Factory Steelbook, and now I have it on 4K. So in terms of haven't gotten in any vinyl recently. And it's kind of only because I've been just trying to listen through my CDs more, just trying to go through my collection, reliving some old memories. But what I did do was I signed up for one of those programs that you see on Instagram where it just pops up saying, hey, subscribe to this thing, you pay a certain amount a month and they'll send you records that they've curated. And like you go in there and you put in your your interests, like what genres you like, and like they'll send you 3 records, but they don't tell you what they're sending until you get them. So I was a little skeptical of it, so I said, okay, I'll see what they send me the first time. And the thing is, and the service is called Vnyl, so it's vinyl but without the I. And so what they sent me was sorry, I didn't have the other one out. So they sent me 3. First one they sent was Jimi Hendrix Experience, Axis Bold as Love, which is awesome. And then they sent me the Meat Puppets. They're like country rock. They're like nothing I want to listen to. And then this is a it's called Altitudes and Attitudes. So it's Attitudes with the 2 D's. And this is, I guess, a band that made up of Dave Ellefson from Megadeth and Frank Bello from Anthrax. I think Frank's the bassist, if I remember correctly. And I've never heard of them. I've never heard of them. So I don't know. It kind of looks a little cheesy. It looks like something that you would have seen back in 1990. So yeah, I might call them and cancel the service because yeah, this is kind of I mean, I like that they sent me Axis Bold as Love because while I've been a big Jimi fan since I was a kid, I have all of his official records on CD and a whole bunch of those other ones that they've been putting out, like the unrecorded stuff, like the unreleased stuff. There's been a ton of those, and I've gotten a lot of them, not all of them, but most of the ones that were out in the 90s, like when the Jimi Hendrix nostalgic revival kind of came around with CD. So But this is the Access Bows Love on vinyl, and this is different than what was put out with the MCA remasters in the 90s when I got those. And so it's a fold out, and it has the album cover, which folds out this way, which is really cool. And so yeah, I'm gonna call them and see what the deal is, because they don't really give you any option to like exchange the records or to like approve which ones you're going to get, or even to return it. So I think that service is a little questionable. So and I'll see what happens with that. But then also went back and started listening to some bands, and one of the bands that are among one of my favorites, and I really consider them to be at the forefront of that early 90s influx of Scandinavian black metal and death metal bands, is Amorphis. And Amorphis, even from the beginning, were different. Even though they did have the growly vocals, being from Finland kind of put them apart, because most everyone else was coming from Sweden and Norway. And Amorphis took their influence from Swedish folk tales and folklore, traditional poems, and the books such as the Kalevala and its companion, the Kantilatar. And so they've been around since the early mid-90s. Probably the first album of theirs that was significant was Tales from a Thousand Lakes, which takes its influence from the Kalevala. And then after that, they just went from hit to hit. You had Elegy, and what happened was that I had Elegy from back when it first was released, and I went to go listen to it, and there's no CD. So I have a few CDs like that where the CD has gone missing. And I think probably what happened was that I put it in a, I probably put it in like a CD book, you know, like when you take your CDs out and you put it in the book so you can have it in your car to listen to. And I probably did that, and that thing got lost. Who knows how long ago. So I went on their label site, Relapse Records, which, interestingly enough, is actually local to me. They're in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb of Philadelphia, and they had they had just re-released the CD, and along with that, I got the vinyl reissue of Tales from a Thousand Lakes, and actually they had multiple different versions. So there's been a lot of different covers, but I like this cover because it's kind of like the expanded version of the CD. But going on from Amorphis, they continued on with their album Tuonela, which, if you know classical music, you've heard of Swan Tuonela by Jan Sibelius, who is the most famous Finnish classical music composer. And so, like Sibelius, Amorphis have taken a lot of cues and inspiration from a traditional Finnish stories, folklore, and poems, and incorporated into that music. And then their album after that, their follow-up, Universum, I consider one of the greatest albums of that whole era. I think it's their best album. I mean, they made stuff afterwards, but I believe they had a few lineup changes. But this one is their best, by far. So if you're interested in exploring that genre of music, but you don't want to listen to something that beats you over the head, because honestly, there are a lot of those black and death metal bands that are pretty brutal. They pummel you, but these guys don't. They're very lyrical. They're very melodic, even from the beginning. You know, they don't have blast beats. They don't go crazy. Um, so yeah, these are kind of like the I guess the thinking man's or the intellectual man's black metal, because they really aren't black metal anymore. They really changed their sound. They even went away from the growly vocals. So yeah, definitely give them a listen if you're interested. And yep. So that's all I got for this time, and I will talk to you when I get something new in. Thanks.